I'm Tori.
And I'm Matt.
Join us for our stay at the Blue Lagoon Resort. We'll explore the natural hot springs and, of course, eat lots of yummy food.
There are two places to stay at the Blue Lagoon, the Retreat Hotel and the Silica Hotel. We opted for the Silica, which has only 35 rooms, making it extremely intimate and relaxing. They built the hotel around the natural lava rock formations and even had a bit of it peeking through the walkways.
We got the Mountain Deluxe room and had our own private balcony. This is definitely a high-end luxury resort as we spent about $900 a night.
Our room was beautifully decorated with a classy and modern interior design. It was luxurious but warm and welcoming at the same time. We had plenty of amenities, including some specialty Blue Lagoon products. We also had an amazing view of the mossy landscape outside our window.
When we checked in, we were given a special wristband that gave us access to all the exclusive pools, facilities, and connected to our credit card. That way, we didn't have to carry a wallet around.
The Silica is an incredible place to stay and a fun and unique experience. Alright, so we're here at the Blue Lagoon, the Silica Hotel. This is our first dip in the water.
It's kind of nice because the Silica Hotel has a private lagoon, so it's just us here.
When you walk through the lagoon, it's like there's mud on your feet because you have this silica on the bottom. But absolutely amazing so far, and what a great last stay on our trip. We have 2 nights here, a dinner at the Lava restaurant in the resort, and then tomorrow night at the Moss restaurant, which is a Michelin rated restaurant, so stay tuned for that.
It's going to be a great ending
Just
to our
a great
honeymoon.
Yes, exactly, a great wrap up to the honeymoon. We just got back from the Lava restaurant in the Blue Lagoon, which was amazing. The Lava restaurant has these massive volcanic rocks built into the restaurant, and it overlooks the Blue Lagoon resort. The view was magnificent. From our table, we could see like there was a bunch of people out there enjoying the lagoon, but the restaurant food,
Truly spectacular. And the first thing we had was bread and butter, but not just regular bread and butter. It was sourdough bread and rye bread, definitely homemade. And in the center was a giant pile of whipped butter and flaky sea salt on a lava rock. And what's really cool about the butter is that they use yogurt to whip it and make it lighter and fluffier.
almost a hint of like a sour cream flavor.
We also had some drinks too. You had a raspberry mojito and I had an Aperol Spritz, and those were very strong.
Oh yeah.
But super delicious. For our first course, we had a tomato and basil gazpacho. It was the most elevated flavor. There were little bits of cucumber in it, and it was a really nice contrast.
And then it came with these toasted little pieces of garlic bread, which was super amazing.
And then my favorite part of the meal was the second course, which was the cured salmon.
It had a horseradish sauce, like a creamy horseradish sauce. The salmon also had like kind of a lemon glaze on it, and it was seared and cured, and it just like melts in your mouth. It was like kind of like eating sashimi.
Yeah, if you like sushi, that is the meal for you.
And then the third course was the lamb. It was kind of like a steak, and it was cooked medium, so it was a little bit pink in the middle, and that was super good. You're not a huge fan of lamb, So I ate most of hers and kind of overdid it a little bit.
And then to finish off and round out our excellent meal, we had this berry ice cream paired with an angel food cake.
Oh.
And they were little gelatin like boba bubbles of this berry compote to pair with the angel food cake. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I mean, by the time we got to the ice cream, I could barely eat another bite.
But you did.
But I did, and I had to taste it. So far, I would say the best thing I've had on this trip was that salmon. I mean, it was delightful, I would say, yeah. What about you?
It tops the lobster soup for you?
Okay, it's salmon, lobster soup, rye bread ice cream, and then the lamb hot dog.
The food here has been really interesting and really, really yummy. I don't think anything will ever beat that lobster soup for me.
Tomorrow, we're gonna go check out the Blue Lagoon, the big resort, which will be a little crowded, but they have a swim-up bar. We have our massages booked tomorrow, and that's over there as well. Also, tomorrow night is the Moss restaurant, the 7-course meal with the Michelin star restaurant. So that's gonna be amazing as well. Another jam-packed day tomorrow, so we'll check in with you in the morning. All right, we're here at the Blue Lagoon, but we misunderstood the assignment. We didn't bring shoes, and we have to walk down this little path.
And it's very cold.
It's a little cold, but almost there to the warmth. We're gonna go check it out and see what it's all about. The Blue Lagoon, which is the main lagoon, it's just this massive, expansive geothermal pool. There was a ton of people in there, but it really didn't seem too crowded.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Okay, we're here at the Blue Lagoon Resort.
Since we're staying at the hotel, we have premium access, so there was no line for us. We had a bathrobe, we get a free drink, we have a spa massage, so it's a little bit like of a different experience being a hotel guest as opposed to a regular guest. The regular guest, there was a long line. Like that.
So we're just gonna enjoy the scenery and go get our drinks, and then we have our massages at 2.
We can take you on a little tour. The very first thing we did once we got in the lagoon was we went to the bar and we got a complimentary drink, which we both opted for strawberry sparkling wine.
Yes.
Which was very, very good, even though it was 11 o'clock in the morning.
Cheers.
Cheers. And then we made our way over to the mask bar, and we had 3 different masks. Our first mask that we started with was a lava scrub, which was a little bit harsh, so we only kept it on for 3 minutes. Otherwise, it would dry your skin out.
Okay. We have our lava mask, which is our first mask.
That's crazy.
How is it?
Feels good. So we have to keep this on for 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. And then we wash it off in the lagoon water.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And we have 2 more after this. However, I don't know if we're gonna film them.
Nah,
it's difficult.
No. We want to just enjoy it.
Yes.
But here's one.
Here's one.
I felt like a Neutrogena ad.
Yeah.
Going like this.
You would walk through and you'd see all these people with the masks on their face. It was really funny.
What we completely forgot was that we were going to be outside, and it was a beautiful day, and we got very burnt.
I did. It was because it was a little bit cloudy and it's not hot, and I just completely slipped my mind to put sunscreen on.
But then after we got our face masks, we waded around the water a little bit. We just kind of relaxed and enjoyed. And then it was time for our in-water massages. And we both got a 30-minute massage. It was pretty full body for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Once we were done with the massage, they put us together on our little floaty mats and just kind of let us drift around for a while together.
The only reason we got up was because it started to rain on our face, and so we needed to
get into some cover.
Yeah. And then we decided, let's just go back to our hotel and go to the Silica pool.
Because there's like nobody in there. The people staying at the Silica Hotel are the only people that can go in that one.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more relaxed.
It's very private.
Yeah. And we enjoyed that for another hour and a half. And then we got ready for our dinner at the Moss restaurant. At the Moss restaurant, we had a 7-course meal, which was absolutely insane. And we got to have that sourdough bread with the butter skewer, which was, for the second time, it was amazing.
We ate for almost 3 hours, which was so wild.
To start right away, they brought us an appetizer, fried fish skin with a lemony avocado sauce.
And then they also had a rye bread crisp paired with a hummus that was topped with fresh mini radishes. And it was just really super fresh and delicious and a perfect starter.
After the appetizers, our first course was a cold beet soup with these diced yellow beet cubes in there. And it was kind of just a hint of sweetness, very refreshing.
Dwight Schrute would approve.
Dwight Schrute would very much so approve of the cold beet soup. But it was a great way to start the meal.
And then for our second course, this was my favorite of the whole entire 7 courses. We had a tomato gazpacho. They were perfectly round tomatoes, skinned, cold. It was an amazingly beautiful presentation, and they paired that with a shot of tomato essence to drink on the side. It was insane.
It looked kind of like white wine, but it was tomato juice.
It was phenomenal.
Very
it was
interesting.
So good.
So from here, we both diverged into different dishes. She chose the vegan menu, which was kind of more geared towards her palate, and then I had the traditional tasting menu. So my third course was prawn with wild rice, and then it had miso glaze that you could dip in as well. It was super fresh, and the sauces on that one were really delicious.
And then what I liked is that the vegan menu and the traditional tasting menu really like worked hand in hand. Every dish had a little bit of a thread into the other. So I similarly had wild rice, but my wild rice was paired with an artichoke heart and similar miso dressing on top. And it was divine. It was so good.
She didn't taste all of my dishes, but I tasted all of hers. So I got to kind of have 14 different dishes, and they were all great.
Sublime.
One thing I forgot to mention, we also did the wine pairing with each of our meals. So whenever we had a course come out, the sommelier came out with a different wine, and what was really cool, it had a different wine glass that kind of grew in size as the plates kept going on. And each wine was chosen because they paired really well with the ingredients of each course.
So my fourth dish was
It's kind of like an eggplant.
Yeah, it was like a cousin to the eggplant. And it was on a bed of pistachio, and I don't know, but it was so good. I'll just have to see the video. Just have to insert some B-roll.
My fourth dish was king crab, and it had a lemon butter and ginger glaze on top of it. I also had a pistachio curry sauce.
Don't forget, you had caviar.
Oh, that's right. I had caviar, which was an add-on that I did, and that was the first time I've ever had caviar. We both tried it. I thought it was super delicious. What about you?
I actually really loved caviar. I would eat it again.
It was like kind of creamy and salty and just a hint of fishiness. I did really like it. I would like to put it on something like a cracker, but it was pretty good straight up as well. So the fifth course was the main course, and wow, oh my goodness.
The star of the show.
It really was. So they came out with this presentation of the Icelandic lamb, and they had lava rocks that the chef hand-picked a year earlier from the same volcano that's now erupting in Iceland. They had these coals that they lit that were giving off this smoky aroma that was like, oh, it was like a musk. Like I would turn it into cologne. It was so good. I, for a second, thought I was going to have to eat it off of that. And I would have felt really bad having to make a mess out of that beautiful presentation. But thank goodness we didn't, and they plated the lamb for us. Tonight's lamb was miles ahead of the lamb at the Lava restaurant. No offense to the Lava restaurant.
No shade.
No shade, but it was just absolutely amazing. It had like a ground mustard where you could still see like the mustard seeds, and then it had mashed peas around the sides and little button mushrooms as well.
My meal was based on that mushroom, and it was in a tomato and carrot sauce, and it was delicious.
The sixth course, we did an addition. They gave us 52-month aged Parmesan cheese with toasted rye bread and apple chutney. It was like a true ratatouille kind of moment with all of the flavors combining.
And then for the 7th round, we had dessert, which we started with a passion fruit based kind of ice cream-ish. You had panna cotta, and I had a coconut vegan cream with my passion fruit, and we had lemon snow on top. And it was so good. And we thought that was it, right? Like I fully thought that was my dessert. And then a few minutes later, walks out another beautiful fairy moss presentation of a platter of more desserts. And we split everything on that.
Yes.
And we started with, it's like a cake.
A mandolin cookie?
No,
Not a mandolin
a mandolin's
cookie.
an instrument, I think.
Mayonnaise is an instrument.
The Madeleine, which was fresh out of the oven, it was warm. It was like a pistachio almond paste flavor. And then we moved on to this homemade raspberry jelly candy.
Next we had chocolate truffles.
We had a honey macaroon. And then just when we thought we couldn't eat any more,
We
had
split the licorice and chocolate taffy. And it was very good.
I think my takeaway from the trip is to stay at the Silica. It's cheaper and it's kind of more quiet here. It's very, very busy. The retreat at the Blue Lagoon.
The retreat hotel is in the Blue Lagoon, and it's like the premium hotel that you can stay in, and you get access to the premium stuff there. And I felt like I got to have all of the Blue Lagoon experience with the Silica Hotel reservation for not as much money.
Yeah, but overall I think we had the best time. It's my new favorite country I've ever visited.
Absolutely.
And I think this will be a place that we'll come back to.
10 out of 10 trip. One of the most beautiful places on earth.
And a wonderful honeymoon.